Hi guys, and welcome to another Barb Stamps video. This video is going to be so much fun. I have a gorgeous card to show you. But first of all, I did want to talk a little bit about my online class. I have an online class for the Christmastime is Here suite of products. The class itself is only $20, but if you want it free, along with a free cardstock kit to make all the cards that I have in the class, you can purchase my bundle of products, which is the Christmas Rose stamp set, which is a dual set. The roses dies, and these are sold as a bundle, so you do get a little bit of a discount. And here's our, there are 7 dies in the set. We have a lattice piece, a couple of really ornate corner pieces, a large die to crop out this large image here from the stamp set. And then we have a couple of labels, and then another little piece, a little flourishy kind of piece here at in the center. The suite also has this amazing shimmer gold ribbon, so pretty. And this is a full spool. This is 10 yards. We have a package of the gold glitter dots, which are super, super cool. And then we have the 12 sheet pack of the Specialty Designer Series paper. And why it's called Specialty is I'm pretty sure you can see the amazing foil accents in this paper. So the coordinating colors are Poppy Parade, Cherry Cobbler, Mossy Meadow, Early Espresso, and a gold foil. And then the reverse side of these papers are some nice neutral kind of patterns that you can use for lots of things, not just Christmas. These two, of course, could be used for anything. This gorgeous rose pattern here could be used for anything. So could this, any of them could really be used for any occasion, not just Christmas. So the bundle of products is $114. You get all the products I just listed, the online class, plus a pre-cut cardstock kit. Now, I'm not including designer series paper or ribbon or glimmer dots in your kit because you're going to have all those things by purchasing the bundle. And if you don't purchase the bundle from me, you will need these products to complete the cards. The cardstock pack is strictly that. It's just cardstock. And it does include, you know, any die cuts, any punch outs, any embossed pieces, that kind of thing, but no paper, designer series paper, glimmer dots, or ribbon. All right, so here is the card that we're going to be working on today. We're using some of this gorgeous paper to create a fun drapery fold down here at the bottom. I'm going to show you how to do that. I did a fun little thing with this Cherry Cobbler striped ribbon and a Stampin' Blend marker. We've got the embossing here and a little flourish piece. So let me get my supplies. We'll get started on that. But here is another one that I did using this basically same pattern, but I did add a piece of embossed cardstock up there. So I guess you can let me know which one you like better. So let me get the supplies and we'll get started. All right, here are the supplies to create that gorgeous card. We are going to be using our brand new Stampin' Trimmer. This was just available for customers today. If this is November 1st when I'm making this video. So the trimmer is live and anybody can purchase it. So we are going to use our new trimmer. A few things about this trimmer that are amazing. It has a very wide bed. So it goes out to 6.5 inches. And then the swing out arm comes out and it goes all the way out to 17 inches, which is amazing. The length of that thing is just super cool. It has a little hole at the top to hang it up if you wish. The track cover, it doesn't flip open. You have to, there's something with it. I don't know if it's a magnet up there or I'm not sure what it is, but when you push that back down, it clicks into place and then it won't open. So that makes it nice for traveling. You may notice this little strip of paper here. This is what I have done. I have taken about a 1/4 inch strip of very vanilla cardstock that was about 12 inches long. I trimmed that off and then I added it to the underside of this, I don't even know what you call this thing. I'm sure it'll come to me later. This thing, and then I glued it under there with some glue dots because otherwise it's hard to see through here because it's clear and I have vision problems anyways. I've got my second cataract at 53 years old, so looking forward to getting that thing fixed. The blades, we have this trimmer, the cutting blade and then the scoring blade. And I have been using this particular blade for over a month. And as a demonstrator, I cut a ton of cardstock and this thing is still super sharp. So the trimmer is only $25. I highly recommend getting it. And you can go to my store at shoppingwithbarb.com, order it, and then I've got a free gift for you. All right, so I'm starting out with a 7.25 by 3 inch piece of this gorgeous rose patterned paper. We're going to slide that into the trimmer at 3 inches and I'm going to score that. Okay, Then I'm going to slide it over to 3.5, score it again, slide it over to 5, and then finally over to the 6-inch mark over here on the end. Okay. So then I have all my score lines. Might be a little bit difficult to see on the designer series paper, but I can see all my score lines. So now what I'm going to do is my first score line was done at 3 inches. So I'm just going to fold that. So this was my first score line. So I'm going to put this back into my trimmer so that this first score line is in the track. And then I'm going to have the tip of my cardstock or my designer series paper here at about the 2-inch mark. It doesn't have to be perfect, just somewhere around there. Just make sure that you get this one down into the track. And I need to bring my head in here. Sorry. Actually, maybe I'll just do that, and then I can see that that's where my fold line is. Here is my tip of my paper, and then I'll undo that, and then I'm just going to slice that off. So I sliced off a little tiny section there, and that is just trash, or maybe you can put it on another card. So we're going to finish the folding of this piece here. So we folded on the 3-inch. Now on the 3.5, we're going to fold backwards on itself. And what I'm doing is I'm just trying to make sure that it stays flush up here at the top of the paper. Then we're going to come over here to the 5-inch score line. Where are you? Right there. Again, making it flush at the top. And then we'll fold back on the 6-inch line right there. And that's what we have. So I'm also going to bring in a 4 1/4 by 11-inch piece of cherry cobbler cardstock. And I am going to glue this down. So let me grab my glue. All right, so I got my liquid glue here, and I'm going to add some glue to these fold lines. Come on out, glue. So get some glue. And I'm not going to go all the way to the end just because I want it to kind of look like how draperies, when you have them folded, they're not completely flush, you know, they're just kind of flowy and free. So I'm going to mostly glue all the way to the bottom, but not completely, but I am gluing up here at the top. Okay, so we're going to press those. So that's the front side. Now we have the reverse where we also need to glue these down. So we'll glue that. And then this piece here we're going to glue down. So I'm just going to add glue to this little section here and that little section right there. So we now have all of our pleats glued down, and now we can go ahead and add this to the front of the card. This paper is just so pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, so right down here in the bottom corner, up the side, and then over to this edge here. Okay. There we have that. So the next thing I want to do is I want to add some little details. So this little thing I did cut with the dies out of a piece of gold foil. And I'm going to snip that off about right there. And then I'm going to add this to my card. Just going to add a little bit of glue. Use my finger to kind of wipe some of that off. I don't want it to squish out all over and make a mess. Okay, I'm going to put this right up against the edge of the paper. And the reason I snipped that off is because I have a decal, a label that I'm going to put on here, and that's going to cover up where this is going to kind of have a, no, not really a seam per se, but where this isn't going to, so I'm going to cover up that open area is what I'm trying to say. All right, and then I've got this really cool cherry cobbler striped diagonal ribbon, and I was messing around with it, trying to see, because I really wanted to use it, because I think it's really pretty, but I didn't really like it like that with the kind of white. So I was messing around coloring the white with my cherry cobbler Stampin' Blend marker, and I really, really liked how it turned out. So I just honestly just took the marker, and it actually blends really nicely. If you just barely touch it on there, the ink just flows right into that section of the ribbon. So I just colored all those little white pieces, and now I'm going to add it to my card. So I've got some tear and tape adhesive here, and I'm just going to put a strip along this line here that's right at the top of the designer series paper, and this just tears off. If you have a little excess, just use your snips to get that excess off. All right, so we're going to press that into place. And then I'm going to use my tiny little fingernail that I have to peel that back. And I'm going to add my ribbon right up at where the seam kind of would be between the designer series paper and the little flourishy guy. Okay. Bring in some kind of fabric scissors here, and we're just going to snip off that excess. So that is what we have so far on the front. So then I did go ahead and cut one of the labels out of Whisper White cardstock, and so we're going to stamp our sentiment on here. So I've got my little tray here of goodies. I've got an embossing buddy that I'm going to just rub all over that. Got a little carried away. And then I've got my Merry Christmas image, which comes in the stamp set, and we're going to ink that up with Versamark. And my trick with Versamark is I ink it up until I think it's inked up enough, and then I ink it up some more. And I'm going to try to stamp this right in the center, like so. And then we're going to cover it with our gold Stamp It Emboss powder. And then I'm going to bring in my heat tool and heat it up. So sprinkle on the powder. And you can be pretty generous with this stuff. I mean, hardly any sticks on there. And I just sort of tap it off. And then I do like to go over it again, just in case there are some tiny little spots where maybe a piece didn't stick, just to make sure that I get nice, good coverage so that when I heat it up, it looks really good. And I just kind of give it a little bit of a flick off the back. And then if I do have any little spots where the powder did stick, I just take a paintbrush and then I just kind of wipe that off. All right, let me get my heat tool. All right, we're just going to heat this up until it melts. I'm going to move this out of the way and put the lid on that so I don't blow powder all over everything, because I would. All right, here we go. And I'm going to speed this up so you don't have to listen to the tool because it can be kind of loud. Okay, here we go. And I love Stampin' Up's embossing powder. It honestly just melts so nice and smooth. It's amazing. I have had some others, you know, many years ago before I was a demonstrator, and I can honestly say these are the best. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of detail. I'm going to stamp a tiny bit of detail on this. So I'm going to bring in a foam mat here, and I've got some cherry cobbler ink. And I've got that large bold rose image, but I just need this little small rose here. And I think I'm going to stamp it right down here at the bottom. There we go. And then I have a little leaf image here that I'm going to do in the Mossy Meadow. And let's see, what do I want? Those two. And you can see there's a little bit of a break in between this stamp, so I can just ink up just this section here. And I guess I'm just going to put that right there. And then we're going to ink it up again. And I'm going to come in and just add a bit of a leaf right here at the end of that flower, like so. And then these little dots, you can bring in a stamp for that, but since I have my Stampin' Blend marker here, I'm just going to go ahead and add them like this. So those are kind of like holly berries, I think. All right, so we're going to bring our card back in here, kind of clean up some things so we don't end up making a mess. Okay, so that's going to go on there. We're going to use some dimensionals. The dimensionals here. We'll put one at the top and one at the bottom, so we're going to like straddle the ribbon there. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in those glitter dots, and we're going to add a few to around our main image here. Let's go with maybe a large one. And we'll do one up there, but a little bit smaller one. Whoa, that went a little bit crazy. Kind of right next to it. And then maybe an even smaller one right down here on the label. And that is what we have for our card today. Now, I do have another one that I want to show you real quick. All right, and here is another one that I did using the same drapery fold technique, same label. I just added the gold ribbon on this one instead, and then I did do some embossing at the top here with the tufted 3D embossing folder. So here they both are. I guess which one do you like better? Leave me a comment down below this video and say with the folder, without the folder. Or do you prefer one ribbon over the other? So I would love to have some comments from you guys down below. So if you need to order your Christmastime bundle, remember I have my online class. The class is $20. The class with the cardstock kit is $30. And then the entire bundle, class, cardstock kit, $114. You can check everything out at barbstamps.com. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel down here in the corner. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.